Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel codeWithKhan. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Let's see today's LeetCode problem 1784. Check if binary string has at most one segment of ones. It's easy mark. Let's read the question. Given a binary string S without any leading zeros, return true if S contains at most one contiguous segment of ones, otherwise you'll return false. Okay, now let's see the constraints. S dot length can be up to 100 and S of I is either 0 or 1 and S of 0 is always 1. So this is important, very important. So S of I matlab means the first index is always 1 and we don't have any leading zeros. That means we don't have any leading zeros and it is always going to start with 1. String is always going to start with 1 and we need at most one contiguous. That means we need only one contiguous segment of ones, right? Only one segment and string is always starting with 1. That means we should have all ones at starting only, right? So whatever the ones we are going to see in the string, that should present in the start of the array, the string only. Okay, let's see this example like 1 0 0 1. If we observe s of 0 is going to start with 1. S of 0 is 1 and so if whatever ones we are seeing, they should be present at the start only, right? Then only it will become one contiguous segment. So here if you see, this is one segment and this one is another segment. So here we have two segments, right? We have two segments. Because of that reason, this is not a valid string. This is not a valid string. So we will return false here in this scenario. So let's see one more example. We have 1 1 0 0. So in this scenario, if you observe, S of 0 is starting with 1 and we have all ones in the same segment and we have only one segment of ones and remaining things are zeros. So this is a valid string. So we'll return true. We'll return true in this scenario. Okay. So if we observe clearly, so since S of 0 is always starting with 1, so it needs to if string needs to be valid, then all the ones should be should be in the starting only. And if the 1 comes after 0, right? If we encountered a 1 after we are seeing the 0, then that is considered as the second segment, right? Because we have seen first segment at the start only, because S of 0 is 1. And if we encountered another one after seeing a 0, then that is considered as a not valid string. So what is the breaking rule here? So we have a string starting with 1 and we have encountered number of ones and then we have seen a 0, right? We have encountered 0 for the first time and we have seen number of zeros and in the traversal we have seen 1 again, right? This is the breaking rule. So when we have seen this pattern, then that string is considered as not valid. So how we can check if this pattern is present in the string or not? So we can use s dot contains of method of with this substring. We'll look for this substring because we should not have a 1 after seeing a 0. So this is the breaking pattern. We will check check the occurrences of this one in the string. So it returns, if it returns true, that means it is not valid. So we'll return false. So if this pattern is not present, then we'll simply return true. Got it? So if we don't want to use the contains method, which is the inbuilt method, so we can also traverse the array, the string our own. So how we can do? We'll start it from int I is equals to 1. So here we'll check if for any I, if it is I is 1 and then I minus 1 should not be 0. If it is I minus 1, I is 1 and I minus 1 is equals to 0, then this is the breaking pattern. We will check for this pattern in the string I plus plus. If s dot caret of I is double equals to 1, and then s dot caret of I minus 1 is double equals to 0, then this is the breaking rule. So what we can do, we'll directly return false from here, and otherwise if we didn't found this pattern, then we'll return true here. Got it? That's it. So what we need to do, simply we need to check for a pattern where we are encountering 1 before after seeing a 0, because s of 0 is always starting with 1. If you want to have only one segment, then all the ones should come at start only. Okay, now let's see the time complexity. So time complexity for this problem is, we are only iterating string one time, so it would be big of n, and the space complexity is, we are not using any extra space, it would be big of 1 only. Let's write code for this. Let's check the inbuilt method first. So what I said, we need to check for the pattern of 0 1 in the string. So what I can do is, I will just return is not of s dot contains of 0 1 string. If it contains, it returns false. If it doesn't contain, it returns true. So let's try to run this code. It is accepted. Let's submit this code. Yeah, it is accepted, and runtime is 0 milliseconds. Now let's try to write our own code using a for loop. Now what I will do is, I will start iterating, and I is equals to 1, and I should be less than s dot length, and then I plus plus. So what we need to check, if s dot char of I is double equals to 1, and then s dot char of I minus 1 is double equals to 0, then this is the breaking pattern. So I will just return false from here, and if we didn't found this pattern, then we'll return true at the end. Now let's try to run this code. This is also accepted. Let's submit this code. Yeah, this solution is also accepted with 0 milliseconds runtime. So if you like my content, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.